Hello, mathematicians. Today we are going to look at our new unit about tables and graphs. And today we will be looking at picture graphs. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of pages in our textbook and we'll do a little activity together. So here it says picture graphs. Count each type of fruit. All right, so it looks like we have a group of some apples and pears and mangoes and oranges. And we could count up all the different objects, the different items of fruit here. And then down below it says this tally chart shows the number of each type of fruit. So for example, if we wanted to count up the mangoes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then they are showing us what the number 12 looks like if we wanted to do it in tally marks. So how we do tally marks is we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 is the cross along the side there. So in order to show 12 mangoes, we would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if we wanted to write that as mangoes, we could do that. Let's see, the next one we could count, why don't we count the pears? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pears. And if we wanted to show 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the pears would be there. And let's see, the apples, we could count up the apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the apples would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be for the apples. And then the oranges, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 oranges. And then our tally mark for oranges would look like this. So one way of sort of making a graph is to list the items and then to make a kind of little tally mark. Now on the next page, they're going to show us the same information in a different type of graph, and it's called a picture graph. So if we turn here, it says this picture graph also shows the number of each type of fruit. So this information is the same information that was on the little tally chart. So it also shows 12 mangoes. Let's see if that's really true. So this is a different type of graph. It's called a picture graph. And you'll notice instead of tally marks, we have little circles representing the number of fruit. Very important here is to look for the key at the bottom of a graph, kind of like at the bottom of maps. Also, they often have a key to show what do the symbols stand for. So here we have our symbol is a circle, and each circle stands for one fruit. So let's make sure we have 12 mangoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 mangoes. Let's see, how many pears did we have? We had 6 pears. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 pears. And another way to look quickly, if you know we have 6 pears, you can kind of look over at the apples. So if we were kind of checking, oh, pears or apples, and we could see, well, there's 6 pears. So this would be 6 apples, right? Would be the same height. And then there's 2 more. So we know there's 8 apples. And then we have 4 oranges. And again, really important when we're looking at graphs is to look at the key. All right, so here are a few questions. It says there are blank types of fruit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 types of fruit. We already talked about how there are 12 mangoes. There are 6 pears, 8 apples, 4 oranges. Ooh, now here's a good one. There are blank fruits all together. Well, let's see. We knew we have, let's see, what did we have? We had 12 mangoes. 12 mangoes, 6 pears, 8 apples, 4 oranges. Alrighty, so we could do, ooh, I see 12 and 8. That makes 20. I know this is 20. Ooh, and this is 10, right? 6 and a 4 is 10. So we have 30 fruit altogether. All right. Now, this is also the same information, but they've changed the key. So it says this picture graph also shows the number of each type of fruit. Use the picture graph to answer the questions below. So you'll notice we're still talking about mangoes, pears, apples, and oranges, but now we're using a different symbol. So the symbol we're using to stand for the fruit is now a triangle, and each triangle stands for 2 fruits. So different from the one on the previous page where each circle was 1 fruit. So now we know by looking at the key that each triangle stands for 2 fruit. So the next question here, it says, what do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles stand for? Well, we could do this a couple different ways. We could do 6 times 2 because we know that each triangle stands for 2 fruit. So 6 times 2 is 12. Or we could also skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that would stand for 12 fruit. How many more pears than oranges are there? Okay, so now we are comparing pears and oranges. So let's go up here to pears and oranges. Now the nice thing about a picture graph is it gives us kind of an sort of a more simple way of looking at when we're comparing two things. So what we can do is think about, well, I see that there are 3 triangles for the pears and there are only 2 triangles for the oranges. So we could kind of line them up with our finger and say, well, here they're the same, right? There's 2 pears and there's 2 oranges. And then we can kind of block those out with our hands and see that there is 1 more triangle for pears. And we know that this triangle stands for 2 fruit. So there are 2 more pears than oranges. So we can kind of see that. You could also use kind of like your pencil to line it up and say, well, here they're the same, right? 2, 2. And then I can look at after that, oh, the pear is one more triangle, which stands for 2 more pears. We know each triangle is 2 fruit. Okay. Next question. How many more mangoes than apples are there? So now we're going to compare mangoes with apples. So we can kind of use that same strategy of kind of comparing how tall these are. So we could also kind of do this. So we could say mangoes. Okay, well, there's 2 mangoes, 2 apples, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so there's 8 apples, and this is 8 mangoes. But then we can see here that there are 2 more triangles, and each of these stand for 2 and 2. So this would be 4. There would be 4 more mangoes than apples. So you can kind of see, like, well, here they would be the same. But then the mangoes, if I block off there, you can see there's 2 extra triangles. And each of those is 2. So 2, 4. 4 more mangoes than apples. Which type of fruit is the greatest in number? So here we can easily see that the mangoes have the tallest amount here. So we have the most mangoes. And which type of fruit is the smallest in number? And again, because it's in this kind of a format where it's very kind of easy for us to see, we can see the shortest amount is oranges, the smallest amount. All right. Let's do one more graph together. And this one is different. So all of these other ones had to do with the fruit that we were looking at. All this yummy fruit. Okay. All the mangoes and pears and apples. Well, this one is different. So this is a different kind of graph, still a picture graph, but this one, it says this picture graph shows the number of stickers that 4 boys have. All right, so we have some boys and they have some stickers, and we can see here that Brian has some stickers, Pablo has some stickers, David has some stickers, and Carlos has some stickers. Lots of David in this book, isn't there? Hi, David. How you doing? All right. So, and here, again, really important when we're looking at graphs or maps is to look for the key. What does the key say? Each square stands for 4 stickers. So we can either skip count by 4 or multiply by 4 to find out how many stickers each of the boys have. So, our first question, A, David has blank stickers. Well, here's David, and he has 2 boxes or 2 squares, and each of those stands for 4 stickers. So we could go 4, 8, or we could multiply 4 times 2 is 8. So David has 8 stickers. Carlos has, here's Carlos, who looks like he has the most. He has the tallest, sort of looks like a bar here, kind of like a bar graph. We're going to learn about those a little bit later. But so Carlos has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. We could do 6 times 4, or we could skip count by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 20, 32, la, da, 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 da. Remember our song? Okay, so Carlos has 24 stickers. Blank has the most stickers. Ooh, who has the most? It's Carlos. His bar is the tallest. All right, this one says Brian has blank more stickers than David. So now we're comparing Brian and David. So here's Brian, here's David. So if we think, well, let's see, they're the same. Oh, now David doesn't have any more, but Brian still has 3 more boxes. So 3 times 4 is 12, or we could skip count. 4, 8, 12. So we could also kind of look at it this way here. If it were just like this, Brian and David have the same amount, but then I cover it up. Oh, David doesn't have any more. Could do it this way too. And then we could see 1, 2, 3 extra squares, and each of those are 4. So Brian has 12 more stickers than David. And our last question says, if Carlos gives Pablo 4 stickers, Pablo will have blank stickers. So let's see, Carlos gives 4 stickers. Remember, one of these squares is 4 stickers. If he gives Pablo, there's Pablo. If he gives him 4 stickers, then how many stickers will Pablo have? Well, then he would have 4 boxes, right? And 4 times 4 is 16, or we can skip count. Alrighty, so your homework for today is, let's see, it is pages 148 to 151. So here we have a little tally chart. And it says a group of children made this tally chart to show the colors they like best. What color do you like? I actually have 3 favorite colors, red, green, and blue. I like yellow too. My son just started saying yellow correctly. He used to always say lello. Lello. Anyway. All right, so you're going to fill in the chart. So let's see, it says, oh, let's look at the key. So each mark stands for 1 child. So each of those tally marks is 1 child. So here it says blank children like yellow the best. So you're going to look up here. Yellow has 3 tally marks, and each one is 3. So we would just write 3. So 3 children like yellow best. Let's see, down here for C, you're going to compare, or actually find out how many more children like blue better than green. So then you're going to have to look at, oh, how many like blue and how many like green. And they're asking you how many more kids like this one than that one. When we're trying to find the difference between 2 numbers, we subtract. So you're going to think about, well, I know, let's see, this one is 5, 6. And this one is 4. So 6 kids like blue, 4 kids like green. 6 minus 4 is 2. So here we would say 2 more children like blue better than green. Blank is the most popular color. In other words, what do the most of the kids like, the biggest number. And then blank is the least popular color. So which one is the smallest number? All right, here we have a picture graph. And we can look at the key here. Each circle stands for $1. And then we have another picture graph on this page. Now again, take a look at the key and be careful. Each triangle now stands for 2. So 2 toys. I'm talking about some different toys that these students have. Soldiers, robots, cars, airplanes. Very nice. And on the last page that we're going to work on, this one you get to make your own picture graph. So it says, count the shells collected by each girl, then complete the following picture graph. So if I were you, the first thing I would do is count up. So they're kind of giving us this information. So Divya, she collected 4 shells, and I would just write 4 with my pencil right under here. Sally, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. She collected 10 shells. Waylin, she collected 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and I would write 12. And then Rosny, 2, 4, 6, and I would just write a 6 there. That's going to make it easier for you to make your graph. So when you make the graph, and this graph is going to be the same information as we have here. So we're going to look at this graph, and you can see here they've made the key for us. So each circle stands for 2 shells. And they've already helped us to do Divya, and she collected 4 shells, right? And we counted those up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So she collected 4 shells, not shelves. And to represent 4 on our graph, we're just going to make 2 circles because each circle stands for 2, 2, 4. So that's what that one would look like. Now for Sally, let's take a look at how many shells did Sally have? I think it was 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So Sally collected 10. So how are we going to represent 10 with each circle standing for 2 shells? Ooh, we could divide. What's 10 divided by 2? It's 5, right? So we'd have 5 circles. So with your pencil, you're going to make 5 circles. And then 5 circles would represent 10 shells. So again, we're just kind of using this information to create our own picture graph. The challenge will be that each circle needs to stand for 2 shells. All right, so that is your homework for today. An extra challenge or kind of fun activity, you could make your own picture graph. It might be kind of fun to ask your family about some favorite foods they have or some favorite colors, and then you could make your own little picture graph. If we were in class, we would do a couple fun picture graphs where we would ask people favorite colors or your favorite pet, maybe your favorite treat. Ooh, maybe like a favorite summertime treat, like a popsicle or ice cream or cold slice of watermelon or something like that. And then we can make our own picture graphs. So that would be kind of a fun activity. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.